And Darby, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you coming in because we just kind of set this up in the last couple of days. Chris Shee, the amazing and wonderful Chris Shee, connected us, and I'm glad he did. But Darby, you work with Make a Wish, and I want to know how you got started with Make a Wish. How does one person, because you seem very youthful compared to me. You and Blake are very, very youthful. But how did you get started with Make a Wish? What kind of got Darby there?
Yeah, great question. So I started with Make a Wish in grad school. So I was getting my master's in nonprofit management, and I just had a real big heart for fundraising. And so I ended up interning at Make a Wish because I think Make a Wish has always been such a well-known organization.
Mhm.
Even before I got involved, I feel like you just have always heard of Make a Wish. And so once I actually started interning and being immersed in the mission, I fell in love with the mission, the community, the supporters. And so now I've been working there for about 4.5 years.
Yeah. And Make a Wish, it started in Arizona,
Hmm.
right? How long ago did it start? What was the origin of Make? I mean, everyone kind of has seen the stories, that, just if you need to clean out your eyeballs, this is what you watch. Seen the stories of what you guys do with Make a Wish. But how did it first get started in Arizona? What was the starting point there?
Yeah, great question. So it started back in the 1980s with Wish mom Linda Pauling, who had a son, Chris, who ended up having a critical illness. And one of his kind of last wishes was to be a police officer. And so she kind of got together with
Mhm.
some of the community and they made that wish happen. And though Chris did end up passing, that same group stayed together. They pulled together $37 and they said there are more kids out there who
Mhm.
have critical illnesses and who need wishes, just like Chris. And so from then on, it was kind of history.
Wow.
Hmm.
So and you're in the Northeast Florida chapter.
Hmm.
How many chapters are there around the crunch country?
I'd have to look up the exact number, but we have our Make a Wish America, our national chapter, that's in Arizona. And then
Mhm.
throughout the whole country, we have numerous chapters. The Florida alone is broken up into two chapters. So
Okay.
I'm part of the Central Northern Florida chapter, and then we have South Florida. And then Make a Wish is also international in other
Mhm.
countries as well. So we're all over helping kids.
Yeah, and you traveled from Orlando, but you guys have a big gala. Is it gala or a gala?
I interchange them. Whoever's talking to me, whatever
Mhm.
I hear first, I'll just kind of say the same thing.
Yeah,
So I
because
think both are
because
right.
I whatever the other person says, I say the other one just to annoy them.
Just to
So
like add,
yeah,
yeah.
so I mean, if you called it a gala, I'd call it a gala. But you have a big event
Hmm.
coming up on Saturday. But since you've been involved, how many years have you been with Make a Wish
About
now?
4.5 years.
About 4.5 years. You're a graduate of UCF. We talked
Hmm.
right before, and Blake did do his magical research. It is the largest school in the United States. Maybe is it probably in the world? We're
Yeah.
just going to go with the world. But they're not the Golden Knights; they're just the Knights,
Just the nights.
just the Knights.
Yeah.
So, what drew you to nonprofits? I mean, your degree is in nonprofits, and I've worked in nonprofits all my life. What drew you to nonprofits at such an early? Because I didn't really find the nonprofits until later on in my life. So,
Yeah.
what drew you to nonprofits work?
Well, in high school, you're required to have service hours. So I kind of grew up volunteering and learning about different nonprofit organizations through that volunteer process. And then I got really into volunteering in college through a dance marathon that I was a part of that helped support children in the hospital. And so that kind of bridged the gap. I've always also felt a calling towards serving kids.
Mhm.
And so when I learned about Make Wish, I saw that it was helping kids and I would be able to fundraise at the same time. And I just think the mission is so impactful.
Yeah. So, and Blake, if you would, if you catch questions online for Darby that you feel that I have missed, please jump in. You are conscious back there, right, Blake?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, indeed. I am conscious back here. I'm just trying my best to mute my microphone so Stack doesn't appear during the interview.
Okay. All right. All right. As long as you're still with us, because that's what's important to us, right, Darby?
Right.
Blake's comfort is important to us.
Definitely.
So since you've been with Make a Wish, and there's so many beautiful things that have stood out in Make a Wish. Now, before we were talking a little bit about it, you said Florida's one of the destinations from all the other chapters and stuff like that. Is there one particular one that just made you go, man, I'm in the right spot? Because I can see with the job you're at, you get almost instant gratification at these moments, and it's just so. I mean, I can just feel the blood flow going through you at that point. Is there one that really just made you go, so glad I made this decision to be a part of this?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, thinking about wishes, I don't think I actually shared the mission of Make a Wish either.
Yeah.
So, together we grant life changing wishes for kids battling critical illnesses. So, a unique wish that comes to mind for me is Jose's wish. Jose is a Wish alum now, and he was in his late teens. And I remember his mom telling me, imagine one day you're playing soccer, and then the next week you're in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
hearing that you're not going to be playing soccer for a while.
Yeah.
And so that was Jose's journey. And his wish was to go on a family vacation to New York City. And I think what impacted me the most about his wish is, he wanted to go on a family vacation.
Yeah.
So he didn't necessarily want the
It
top
wasn't just
brand
for
of
him,
things.
yeah.
He just wanted to be a kid, and he
Yeah.
just wanted to be with his family. And so that one really struck home because for a lot of these wish kids, their wish is just to not be in those four walls of the hospital,
Yeah.
but to be with their family and to just experience that hope and strength and joy, which is what wishes bring to them.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I was reading on the website, and you said he's an alum, so
Mhm.
Jose's still with us. When I think of Make a Wish, I was like, oh, this is their dying wish. This is the last. But you guys have a huge alumni, and the percentage of turnaround. And what I read it was like the wish that created kind of was the turning point in a lot of these kids' treatments. What was the percentage again of alumni that come through the program? It was pretty high.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, a big misconception, like you said, is that we only grant wishes for children with terminal illnesses, while it is for kids with critical illnesses. So, we do have that robust Wish alumni program, and we have about 80% of our Wish kids go on to live happy, healthy lives. And it's really neat to see those Wish alum when we know that we granted their wish at 6, and now we're seeing them at an event and they're 16. And it's, they're still a part of the Make a Wish family and still now wanting to turn around and serve others and help grant other people's wishes.
Yeah, because I mean, we're talking about we're talking 1980 from Arizona, or around that area. I graduated high school in '85, and I'm celebrating my 40 year high school reunion this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, whew, that seems like, when you said 80, I was like, that's not that long ago. But I was like, wait, I'm old. I forgot. So is there people out there that are in this alumni or family members that are in this alumni that are major players like on the national board now, or is it still kind of what is uh it's still in Arizona is where your national board is.
Is where the national chapter is, yes. And then we have our Central Northern Florida chapter, which I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
And so our alumni are involved in so many ways. We actually had our fall intern start today, and one of our interns happens to be a Wish alum. And so that's really cool.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so where did you you said you grew up in South Florida and then you went to UCF. Did you go to UCF specifically to work? Your major was going to be nonprofits, or did you decide that after you got there? Because I changed majors like 5 times.
I definitely decided after I got there.
Okay.
I was like you. I wasn't entirely
Yeah.
sure. But I'm so glad that this is where I've ended up because Make-A-Wish is so incredible. And I was thinking, you were talking about stats, and I had a couple that I just wanted to share with you that I thought you might find interesting. 89% of healthcare professionals believe that the Wish experience can positively influence a child's physical health. So the Wish isn't necessarily about a single moment or their Wish trip or Wish day, but it kind of goes beyond that. Like you said, it's a turning point for their treatment.
Hmm.
So I think that is so powerful. And then parents agree. There's 96% of our wish parents say that the wish strengthen their families as a whole and their wish children.
Yeah. And I know some of these wishes are to meet a particular athlete or meet a particular celebrity. Um, is there any examples that you know of friendships that have sprung out of the Make a Wish that really stand out in the organization? Because I mean, I played sports my whole life and have been around music and been around some people that are somewhat uh, be considered popular and famous. But I can see the guys that are friends with me. They're like, if someone said they wanted to meet you, this kid would never not be in their life. I mean, just the friends that I have. So you have any examples of those, like where this becomes almost like a little brother or a nephew or almost a family member to these famous people that they're wanting to meet too?
Yeah, great question. It's hard to think of just one. We have such incredible partners, and there's so many incredible people out there who are willing to help. One that stands out, we have Jace, who last year wished to meet the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I know that that was such an incredible day. And on that wish day, every single member of the team got in a line,
Mhm.
and they went and they shook his hand one by one, and it was so powerful, and it was such a day full of just love, and everyone was there. He was the famous person that day. He was
Yeah,
the
that's the way it
star of
should
the
be.
show. Yeah,
That's the way
exactly.
that's the way it should be. So, and your region goes all the way to the Panhandle.
Mhm.
Um, uh, do you have individual offices in throughout the region, or is it operated like you said? You come from the Orlando area. The gala is actually in Ponte Vedra this
Mhm.
weekend, and we're gonna get to the gala. I swear
That's okay. No, you're
we're gonna let you
good.
push that out in
I'm having so much fun.
just a second. But are there individual offices for Make a Wish out there?
Yeah, so the chapters vary by size, and so we're a larger chapter, and so we do have two regional offices. So one of our larger offices is in the Orlando area, and
Mhm.
then we have a regional office up in the Northeast in Jacksonville, and then we have someone in Gainesville, and then our one woman show in Tallahassee who's covering that whole Panhandle
Oh
area.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, but I mean, she knows she's got support. Like if she does something, you're coming up from Orlando, and they're coming over from Jacksonville, and they're coming over
Exactly.
from.
And the volunteers and the people that we work with, the community is so powerful. There's so
Mhm.
many hands in the pot that want to help, and it's great.
Yeah. Um, and I want to get to. I was on the website
Mhm.
briefly, and something that really stuck out, and I didn't even think about this is you guys have a tab where you can donate miles because I didn't even think about this. So many of the wishes you have to fly to or travel to the family, and it's not just the child; it's probably both parents and it's probably the whole family.
It is, yep.
And I didn't I don't know if I got dropped too many times as a baby or what, but I didn't even think about this. And you guys actually make it very easy to donate Sky Miles
Hmm.
on your website there. And I thought that was a brilliant.
Yeah,
So
you can donate miles. There are so many ways to donate with time, services, talent, monetary. And so that's definitely one of the ways. Like you were saying, for our travel wishes, it's not just the wish kid that we send on their own, but we send their parents, we send their siblings. And so it's a full family
and
affair.
I'm sure someone from the Make a Wish has to coordinate. You have a coordinator that probably goes at the same time
Y-
and
So our wish coordinators don't necessarily go on the travel wishes, but they set them up with such a great timeline. They plan out all the activities for them, so they don't have to worry about a thing.
okay.
It's just a stress
They don't have
free.
somebody with a little sign like walking like
It's time to go to the
yeah.
next place.
Yeah.
No.
We got to get there.
Yeah.
So and that's the way I travel. I'm like, okay, we're 3 minutes behind. Come on, family. So yeah, it's probably good that they can kind of have
Get
their
to
own
have their
freedom.
family vacation, do all the fun things, and just relax and experience joy and hope and being together.
Is Disney World? Because I mean, obviously, I'm leaning towards Florida.
Mhm.
Is Disney World like the top wish thing?
Disney World is definitely one of the top destinations and wishes for our wish kids, absolutely.
Mhm. What are some of the other ones that you said? New York City, but
Yep, New York City's a big one. Hawaii is a really big one.
okay.
So during COVID, we couldn't really do international travel, and
Hmm.
coming out of COVID, once we were kind of bridging that, Hawaii has been the most kind of exotic place that a lot
Hmm.
of wish kids want to go, and so that's been a really popular
Go
one.
to the Keys. Go to the Keys, kids.
These have good beaches, but
Don't.
where are the volcanoes?
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to. So, no, I've been to Hawaii. It's one of the few places everyone just absolutely raves about, but I didn't enjoy it.
Interesting. I haven't
So
been. I can't comment.
I grew up in Florida, so like the climate really didn't
Hmm.
do anything for me, and you know, I should have left Oahu. I didn't
Hmm.
leave Oahu, which is where Honolulu was, and I didn't go to some of the further out. I'm sure I would have enjoyed it more if I had left the city. You know, yeah, yeah, you got enough of the city.
Yeah.
But I do like New York. I like
Yeah.
New York City. We've been to New York last couple of years, and uh, I do love New York.
Darby, I do want to ask you though about because I know like a lot of people still think about like Make a Wish. It's like as like mean like they are heroes and all that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is the number one Make a Wish person that the kids want to meet is it still John Cena?
From my understanding, it is still John Cena. He's holding that title down as
Really?
our top wish granter.
Like I know you're a wrestling guy. How the hell did you know that?
Because
Because it's your wish too, huh?
no no. I believe he's still. I believe he has like over 650 wishes, and I believe he's like the most wish individual.
Wow, that's really cool.
A lot of
Well,
wishes.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm him, that's a bragging chip right there. You know,
Definitely.
you got to be humble about it, but I'd be like,
Yeah.
so, but it's amazing. What's the age range that you guys do with the Make a Wish? I mean, does it start at 3? What's the age, and how old can they be on the list too?
Yeah, our age range goes from 2 to 18.
Okay.
And so really capturing the children and kind of the heartfelt wish. That's what we do.
Okay. Um,
So you got to the point they didn't get a wish when you had your skin cancer.
oh yeah, no, I didn't get a wish but I was never in the situation these kids were in. These kids are going through a really really tough
Yeah.
stuff. Um, but uh, do the parents normally reach out? Is it the hospital that reaches out? How does someone who, okay, you have a candidate, you got somebody really struggling, young person really struggling with something, and they need this extra boost. Who who gets that child connected with you?
Yeah, that's a really excellent question. Every hour, there are 3 kids who are going to be diagnosed with a critical illness. So
Mhm.
they're out there. Unfortunately, there are always going to be wishes that we're going to be granting. Anyone can refer a child. So if you know someone in St. Johns County who you feel they need a wish, you can actually refer them yourselves.
Mhm.
So they can go to wish.org/refer a child if you know a child with a critical illness.
Like, can you put that in the comments for me, please? All right. Can you repeat it one more time?
Yep, that was wish.org/refer-a-child.
Yeah. So it is that easy. You can just go online and say, okay, I have this 7-year-old who's going through this and needs some help, and then you work with the child on the wish. It's not the person who refers it. You guys will have
Then it goes to us.
it goes to you guys to have
Mhm.
a
We have
family meeting and work with the child.
Mhm.
So,
Yep, there's a whole wish journey. So it starts with a wish discovery. So that's where they'll be connected with volunteers, and that's where we'll get to know the wish child and their family. And we'll learn about their likes, their dislikes, and kind of figure out what it is that is the heart of your wish. What is it that you are just yearning to do? And so we'll get a couple options, and we'll find that top wish that we're going to be granting. And then from there, it moves on to wish coordinators. So, wish coordinators are the ones that are planning that itinerary, giving them that great travel packet. And so they plan the wish. And then from there, it goes into our Wish alumni program, and they get to stick with us.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right. So we have a family that has some disabilities in our family, and our family has autism, and a lot of times it's tougher on the sibling going through it than the person who's actually going through some of this trauma. Do you guys have a program that helps siblings make that connection? Because here it is, you know, and it's especially hard people with families with disabilities for young women. Their empathy levels usually higher than the young boys. So they have a tougher time. Like they feel responsible if someone's sick or someone's not in their family or a sibling that's. But they also feel left out. How do you manage that within the family? Because I can see, uh, you know, you got a 5 and 6 year old. 6 year old's not sick. The 5 year old's sick and been sick for 3 years. Has been getting all the family attention, and now they're getting to make a wish. And you got the sibling over here. Do you have anything that draws the siblings in that helps that disconnect?
Yeah, there's not a specific program for that we have utilized right now specifically for the siblings.
Mhm.
But you'd be surprised the wish itself kind of extends just beyond the wish child,
Mhm.
and it really impacts the whole family, the parents, the siblings, any community partners who are involved. It just that hope and that brightness just you can see it on all of their faces. And so on wishes that I've gone to, sometimes it's more fun to look at the rest of the family and see their faces and see the joy that it's bringing them as well, especially on those travel wishes. And then with our alumni program, we invite the siblings, to be a part of it, to come to our events. And I know we've kind of teased the Wishmakers Ball that's coming up. We have a Wish alumni sister who actually donated a piece of art that they made to go
Mhm.
into our silent auction. So there are definitely ways for them to be involved with our organization, even though there's not necessarily kind of a program specifically for them. Wishes still kind of bring that joy to the whole family.
Yeah. All right. So Hannah did ask the question, and I don't know if you know this number. How many wishes has your chapter granted since you've been involved, or since it's been here? Do you have that number?
That's an exciting question because in just about a month or two, we're going to be getting ready to grant our 8,000th wish for
Oh
our
wow!
chapter, which is so exciting. And then
And
that is
that's North
just,
Florida
yep,
chapter.
Central Northern Florida.
Yeah.
That is just right here in our local community. So we are so close to 8,000, and then we're about to end our fiscal year at the end of the month. And so this fiscal year alone, we will be granting 454
Blake, what
wishes.
just happened? Are we still live? All right. It looks like we're still live out there, but something happened in the studio. I guess I asked the wrong question. Uh, so Blake will get us set back up, but while we're still moving forward. And it looks like you guys are still with us. Kathy, if we're still there, just give me a thumbs up. Um, all right. So Darby, what did you do?
I don't know.
What did you do? All right. And to me, I know my 8-year-old self and what some of the things I would ask for and stuff like that. Is there times where you just have to go, okay, us negotiate? I mean, you're going to try and make the wish happen, but do you have to uh, reshape wishes sometimes, or
That's a great question. We really never want to say no to a wish, but
uh,
we do reimagine wishes sometimes.
okay?
And so we do get a couple of options from the wish child. So again, figuring out what the heart of their wish is. So
Mhm.
if they're wanting to do something, but medically they might not be able to. Well, what about it is it that they really want to do? So let's say they can't necessarily travel, but they wanted to go to a beach destination.
Mhm.
Luckily, we have beaches here, so they
Mhm.
might not have to go as far.
Yeah.
So we do reimagine the wishes, but the wishes are so unique, like you were
Mhm.
saying. They have such incredible minds. From everything we had, someone who wanted to be a music producer. We've had I wish to be a zookeeper. I wish to be an ice cream truck man. That one's a fun one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's it gets kind of messy. Thank you, Blake. We have everything back up and running, like our director, producer, director is so good at. Ta-da! So we have both our Ford studio back. Um, so I mean, some of these wishes are fairly small, and some of them are very extravagant. Um, how do you? Is it chapter pays for their own wishes, or does everything go into the national uh, kind of fishbowl and it gets redistributed? Because I could see Florida, uh, Central and North Florida being more wealthy than Arkansas.
That's a
So how do you balance that? Because it doesn't mean the wish from the kid in Arkansas is any less than the kid in Florida.
Mhm.
So how do you balance that to make it work for the entire country?
Yeah, well, luckily I don't have to I don't have to do the entire country. It is through our local chapter. So all the funds that are raised here in Central Northern Florida are going straight back into those wishes in Central Northern Florida. And there's definitely options for chapters to reach out to national for help. But we're so grateful. There are so many incredible donors and supporters here who want to make a difference. And so it's all local.
Yeah,
You
awesome.
guys are doing it.
All right, and I want to get into the gala,
Mhm.
gala,
Mhm.
that you're having Saturday night
Mhm.
at Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra. Tell us about that. Are there still tickets available if somebody wants to go? Give us all the W's, the where's, what's, when's, why, and all of the W's.
Yeah,
So,
this will be our fifth annual Wishmakers Ball up in Ponte Vedra, and it is a sold out event, but that doesn't mean that people still can't get involved the night of. We actually have our silent auction that has over 120 different items. They're really cool. I've already been browsing to bid, but anyone can go on our silent auction website and bid on items, and those funds will go back into granting wishes. And so, if they wanted to do that, our they could go to our Facebook or Instagram to find that silent auction link. So that's Make a Wish CNFL is our handle. And so again, this will be our fifth annual. We're hoping for a record-breaking night to raise some good funds to help grant wishes. So that's one way that people can get involved right now. We
because
also
we
have,
got to get to 8,000.
we do. We have to get to 8,000 wishes, and kind of funny. Um, we're about to grant our 8,000th wish, and the average cost of a wish is $8,000.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I like the way numbers when they come
I do
together.
too. It just came to me as I was thinking
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So that's an average price
Mm-hmm.
of a wish. Um, you know, and age 2 or 3, those wishes I just can't even imagine what they're like compared to, somebody who's a junior in high school. Um, it's such a broad reach on your wish coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what skill set uh you would need to be a wish coordinator? I don't know if one of your wish coordinators is watching today, but I'm imagining, okay, this person has to be a master at logistics. This person has to be uh, um, incredibly empathetic. This person has to be very rational and to make this happen. Um, you know, the wish coordinator to me is, and your job sounds amazing, some of the other ones, but the wish coordinator job to me sounds like, gosh, that's somebody that just has to have every skill level at the Mac Daddy level. So, how does Make a Wish find people like you? How do you recruit people? Do a lot of them come out of the volunteer corps and move into a staff position? How does Make a Wish continue over the last 50 years to make this work?
Yeah, we do have a lot that come through our volunteer program. We have a lot that come through the intern program, like me. I actually was a former wish coordinator, so I can attest they wear many hats.
Mhm.
They're travel agents, they're interior designers, they are shopping spree hosts. They can do it all. They are so incredible, and we're so lucky to have such a team of talented wish coordinators helping to bring these wishes to life.
Yeah, and a lot of times, I love the result rate. That makes me feel so much better about Make a Wish. But a lot of times you're on a pretty tight timeline. Um, as to make these wishes happen because there's usually that okay, we can't make it happen beyond this point because
Mhm.
they've gotten too ill or too weak because of treatment. Um, do what contact does Make a Wish have with the doctors, or is it directly with the family?
Yeah, that's a great question. So every wish requires kind of a clearance from their doctor to say that this is something that they can do. So especially for some of our complex wish kiddos, we need to know if it's a travel wish, are they going to need nursing? Are they eligible to fly at this time? Or do they need to drive and road trip somewhere? Will they have to have a wheelchair? So we definitely discuss with their doctors before their wish what is it that they're going to need.
All right, I'm going to throw a scenario at you. You're going to kind of talk me through the process. I have a 12-year-old whose their entire wish is to go to Paris. How does that happen? They don't have passports. They don't have all of these things.
We help them. We
Yeah.
help them
So
acquire passports.
how does that work? Who gets to go with the child? And I picked Paris out of the
Mhm.
because I could see someone saying that.
Yeah, so it's our same travel policy. So it's the wish kid, their parents, and any siblings living in the house. And so that's something that the wish coordinator would work with the wish family, and our volunteers would work with them to help them to get any of the documents that they're needing, like their passport. Sometimes we have families who they're going to need luggage, or sometimes they don't own snow jackets, but they need
Yeah.
that for the wish that they're going on. And so that's when we rely, on our donors and on our community to help us to get those things for our wish families.
Because in my mind, I mean, I've been with families that have went through these struggles. They don't have extra money. They just don't have extra money. Um, you've sent the family now to Paris or wherever it is. Do they get a stipend on their food? Because I mean, I that's where I would be stressing if I was a parent going through this as a dad who's got to be the provider and in that. Um, you know, how does that do they is there spending
Mhm.
money involved in the wish too? It's not just the destination.
Yes, yes, they have
Okay,
spending
that's
money.
wonderful.
Yep, they have a card that's broken out like per person for different meals all throughout the day. So, they, like I said earlier, they get to relax, they get to enjoy being a family, and they just get to have fun.
All right. Can you give us one more time the link for the silent auction so Blake can put it in the comments?
Yeah,
So Blake, if you're ready,
it is posted on our social media pages, so Facebook or Instagram, and it's Make a Wish CNFL.
CNFL.
Like
Okay.
Central Northern Florida.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So, and are you still looking for silent auction items right now, or are you guys have it already out there? And obviously, you're never going to turn down a donation,
We'll
but
definitely take it for next year's. We'll definitely take it for next year's gala. I think the one of our biggest events we have going on right now for those that want to get involved, we have our Summer of Wishes sweepstakes going on,
mhm.
which is a big raffle where you can win a Kawasaki Nav 4E limited edition. And it's really cool. I've gotten to ride in it. And so it's not a golf cart, it's technically a neighborhood activity vehicle. But
Mhm.
so all of the different entries that go into it, all those funds go back to granting wishes.
Blake put it up on the screen
Perfect.
for us
Yeah,
there.
there you go. You can see it. So if you go to www.summerofwishes.com/sweepstakes, that's definitely a place where people can get involved. And that's kind of our top thing right now that we're putting some focus on that and our Wishmakers Ball. And it's really cool. Summer is one of our busiest times for wish granting and wish traveling when kids are out of school or just getting back into school. Their schedule's a bit more flexible. But this is actually when we see kind of a lull or a bit of a decline in donations, which is
Mhm.
kind of interesting.
Mhm.
So,
Usually around Christmas, people are very giving.
yeah.
So, beginning of the year, end of the year. That's when the end of summer. It's probably one of the harder times to
Mhm.
make it happen. Like I said, I've been in the nonprofit world for quite a bit of time. Um, so here's the difference of nonprofits. I've done nonprofits and I still have Home Again as Home Again St. John's, where we have homeless shelters, and we have a veterans village and stuff like that. Um, when I did my walk to DC for autism, I found it very easy to get money because it was kids. Um, I would have a tough time, and I'm sure a lot of businesses have a tough time. In North Florida, who coordinates who gets the ask, or where does that? Because it's all about, in nonprofits, it's about the ask.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people are afraid to ask, and if you've spent any time in nonprofit, you have to ask if you want to be successful in business. Um, who sets how that is coordinated? In the business world, we have a business deck. This is the levels you come in at. In this, does that come from corporate, or does that happen at a local level because you like, okay, we know our business is better than you? How does that come to be, setting up the ask?
Yeah, that's a good question. So everything we're doing is at a local level. So
Mhm.
when we're working with different organizations and different businesses in the Northeast and in St. John's, we have an incredible team of people who are reaching out into the community and making those asks. And we do have different levels. We have what's called our Adopt a Wish program, where businesses can essentially provide the funds to grant a wish.
Mhm.
And so there are different levels that go with that. At our Wishmakers Ball, there are different sponsorships levels that people can come in at. And really, any donation, though, makes such a difference. People don't think about it, but
Mhm.
that monthly $10 a month that they're giving, $50 a month, it has a
Well,
huge
and that's
impact.
that's creating, and I did a my 2 cents about creating your pyramid and your base and stuff like that. And in nonprofit world, that base is your consistent donor.
Mhm.
That the bottom of your pyramid's that consistent donor that gives $100 per paycheck. It might not, it ends up being, a couple $1,000s a year, but they give it for years and years and
Mhm.
years, and that money's there, and that's where you can start your budget from there. But adopt a wish. I want you intrigued me with saying that. So tell me a little bit more about that. You said each wish is about $8,000.
Mhm.
So to adopt a wish, say we have somebody local here, and the network here wants to adopt a wish. Talk me through that process.
Yeah, so they would reach out to someone on our team, which they can do by looking on our website, and they can find, someone in their local community. And so, what happens is they can adopt a wish, or like I said, there are levels, so they could adopt multiple wishes if
Mm,
they wanted to. And with that comes different sort of benefits. So that could be giving them a certificate of some sort, as well
mm,
as getting to be part of the wish reveal. So before they go on their wish, we have what's called a wish celebration. And so that can look different depending on the wish,
mhm.
depending on the child. And so the people who adopt a wish oftentimes will volunteer at the wish celebration, so they'll get to see firsthand, because we can't all go to Hawaii with our wish kids.
Yeah.
And so that's a way that they can be really involved in a specific wish and seeing the mission firsthand.
All right, Blake, do we have any questions out there that I missed, that we need to be asking Darby here?
Let's see. I'm trying to go through like some of the content. I think like all the comments that were asked early on the show have already been asked by you. So
Okay, yeah, because I talk a lot. You,
yes,
you can say it out loud, Blake. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
yes.
I'm a very sensitive
I'm
person.
sorry then.
All right, so we got to go through again. The ball is this Saturday night.
This Saturday. So get your bids in before this Saturday. Our silent auction closes at 9 p.m.
All right, do we have any corporate sponsors we need to plug that made it happen this Saturday for you? Uh,
There are so many incredible sponsors, but I'll shout out our title sponsor, Fields, who's been the title sponsor for the past 5 years. So
okay, all right,
thank you to Fields Auto Company.
yeah. So, all right,
Yeah.
so
And actually, there was a question that was asked about the previous ball. Do you know how much was raised from the previous Make a Wish ball?
they're going to break the record this year, but you have a goal. Is there a target that we're trying to get to that we
This
can help you get over that top?
Yeah, this Saturday our goal is $1 million.
Wow, that is awesome. That is wonderful.
Yep. So you can help us get there.
So you guys need to text me and tell me whether or not, like on Monday, so I can give a report and say, okay, you guys hit it.
Oh, definitely. We'll be posting it on all of our socials. We'll text you. We'll
Blake,
let you
quick
know.
math. How many wishes is that divided by 8,000?
God. Dang it.
We need the
125.
125 wishes.
Wait. $1 million is 125 times 8,000 is not $1 million, is it? Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
okay. All right. So I thought it'd be so much more than that. I don't know why. I felt like it'd be so much more.
Stop using the land math to try.
You know I'm better at math than you, so don't even start, mister. So
125 wishes. That's so many families that will be
so much
affected
impact
by a wish. Yeah, it's so incredible. So we're so excited, and we again our summer wishes.
That'll get you to 8,000.
That'll get us to 8,000.
So that'll get you to 8,000. Anything we left off, Darby, that you feel like you need to get out there and we haven't talked about yet that I failed as an interviewer?
Oh my gosh, no, this has been so much fun. I've really enjoyed it. I do want to shout out our Summer of Wishes sweepstakes just one more time, because that's going on now until September 22nd. And again, that's that 2025 Kawasaki Nav 4E Limited. And so this is your chance to really win big while giving back through our Summer of Wishes sweepstakes and supporting Make-A-Wish Central Northern Florida, our local chapter and our local Wish Kids, because every single entry is going to go towards helping grant those life-changing wishes.
That is so cool. And I appreciate you guys getting in touch with me and Chris making the connection. So thank you, Chris Shee. You've done an amazing job again. I don't know if you've met Chris yet. He's pretty awesome guy. He's an awesome guy. He can win Man of the Year every year on our network.
I've only heard great things from our regional team.
Yeah. So thank you again for coming in. Thank your team the best of luck this weekend. You guys get out there and get on that auction. And make sure you're sharing this. Get your team to share it and get it out there to more people. They'll get to see those numbers a little bit more. And we're just super, super excited about it. I know I'm cutting the show a little bit short, but I'm going to a concert tonight. So I'm actually going to end our show right now. But thank you so much for coming in, Blake. Appreciate you pushing all the buttons and keeping us live, even though we had a power surge. So last week the power went out. So,
oh my goodness.
But it was my fault. But thank you so much. You know where we're at. You guys now have my number. You got anything coming up? Feel free. We'd love to help you guys out the best we can, obviously, to help out the kids.
Definitely. You all are wish makers. So thank you for having us on and spreading our mission.
Yeah. So thank you guys.